Well, Christian, every year we're in Spartanburg, you get asked about moving into the dorms, the heat, being down here. You always come out with positive, rave reviews of being in Spartanburg just because you get to bond with the team and that kind of thing. So what have you learned about this group in week one so far?
It's a hard-working group. I think everybody on our team wants to win, obviously, but they show it in their preparation and the way they practice, the way they train, the way they recover. So I'm just excited to be around such a great group of guys, great group of coaches, and Spartanburg's the best. You come here, start a football season officially. You get to put the pads on and play football. It's a lot of fun.
And I know everyone wants to talk to you about how you're feeling, your health, the last 2 seasons, and that type of thing. But I want to ask, what would make 2022 successful for you?
I stopped looking to the future at all. I honestly just try to take it one day at a time and check every box I have to check for that day. Whatever happens is meant to be, and I just don't take a day for granted, and really just trying my best to be present, be in the moment, do the best I can, be a professional, be a good leader to my teammates, hold myself accountable, and show up ready to go every day.
There's the physical aspect of football, but there's also the mental. Last season, you shared an Instagram post when your year had ended just about how disappointed you were, how you had put everything, your heart and soul, you put personal relationships on hold, family time on hold. So when you have a season that ends like it did last year, how do you balance the mental aspect of that?
Yeah, it's football is a physical game, an emotional game, and a mental game, and all three of those could be equally as important. And I think when you go through adversity, sometimes you need to experience it in order to figure out how to best go about it the next time, and that's why experience is obviously powerful. But football is a blessing, and good things happen, bad things happen, and if the bad things didn't happen, the good things wouldn't feel as good. And so, I don't know a good story that's just good all the time. And, every book you read, there's some sort of tragedy or something happens that affects, a character in it. But it's an opportunity, and it's a good metaphor for life. And I just try to put one foot in front of the other. Don't overthink anything. Bad stuff, something bad happened, the mission just changes a little bit, and all my goals are still ahead of me. So that's really how I approach it.
Yeah. And looking back at our first interview, your rookie season, some of the things we talked about, Luke Kuechly and Greg Olsen at that point in your career said he's not really a true rookie. He's already stepped into a leadership role, but the last few years, you've really become the face of this franchise. You are this leader now. You're having guys over for late days and meals and throwing and all of that type of stuff. So what does it feel like now heading into this season, really being that leader of this team?
Yeah, it's an honor. We have one thing that's good. We have a lot of leaders too, which makes a lot of guys' job easier. Is when the majority of guys are bought in, not the minority. And every team is different. Some guys need different things. And I think at the end of the day, as a leader, the first thing you have to worry about is your own execution. So I just focus on making sure I lead by example first, and then if somebody has something that needs to be said here or there, I'll do that. But there's so many different personalities on a football team and so many different leaders on this team specifically that makes it a lot of fun to come to work every day.
Year 3 under head coach Matt Rule, the term I've heard from all the guys this week is urgency. Like the time is now to go out and get wins. It's been 2 5-win seasons. So do you guys feel the heat? Do you feel the pressure? Because I feel like the vibe and the energy is really good.
The energy is great. Our energy at practice is great. Energy in the meetings is great. Like I said, I think the whole attitude of the team is amazing right now, and it's fun to come to work every day, which obviously makes your job easier. But the sense of urgency is at an all-time high. I think that's fair to say.
DJ Moore told us, new OC Ben McAdoo, he said the offense is tough. He said he had to take a test. He had to just take a break and come back to it. Did you take the test, and how did you grade out?
Oh yeah, we're tested all the time, just about every day. So, but it's great. I think it's good to, it's a tough offense, but in order to stay accountable and make sure everybody knows what they're doing, that's what those tests are for. Taking a test in a meeting room is easy compared to having to come out here and not knowing what you're doing. So, they're all for a purpose, and we have such a great staff of coaches. This is, been a few years now with Coach Jeff Nixon, and so this has been great. We got a new running back room, a lot of new faces, but it's just been fun going to work every day, getting to know everybody, and working our butts off.
All right, the first thing I saw on TV when I got to camp, ESPN talking about comeback player of the year. You were mentioned. Are you calling this year a comeback?
Once again, I'm one day at a time.
Yeah.
I know that everything will work out just as it's supposed to, and working as hard as I can, and I've done just about everything I could do right now up to this point, and I can go to sleep at night knowing that that's true. Obviously, you hope for the best, but you prepare for everything and have to have a plan for everything. And so, my sense of urgency personally is very high right now. And I'm just excited for this season, not looking to the past, not looking to the future, just trying to have a great meeting this next meeting.
I want to switch to off the field because you established your foundation a few years ago, but you have a really special project right now, the Logan Project. The story of how that came together, really meaningful to you. What does it mean to use your platform to meet a fan like that or hear his story? Unfortunately, you didn't get to meet him, but to meet his mom and then take his hopes and then make it a reality.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a special event that occurred in such a tragic situation. Obviously, Logan's not with us anymore, but everything I've heard about him from his family and his friends was how eccentric of a person he was, how much he cared about other people, and so to be a small part of making a young boy who doesn't have the opportunities dream come true it was very special, and I'm just excited to get the whole entire league hopefully involved. Hopefully we can do this in all 32 NFL cities and provide gaming systems to kids. I think that was the thing that hit me is when he was in his hospital room, he said, just to play some video games with his friends throughout the day would make his mind escape from all the stuff that he's going through. So, that hit me, and obviously knowing that he was a fan of me, I'm now a huge fan of him, and I know he's looking down at a lot of kids smiling. So hopefully we can have an even bigger impact.
And another role you recently stepped into, EP, Unicorn Town. What was it like stepping into that and having that experience?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I wanted to try to do something that was different than anything I've ever done, even though it was obviously still regarding football. But I had a buddy named Nick Alfieri. He played at Georgetown. He went to USC Film School, and after about 7 months dropped out and recorded his entire experience playing in the German football league. And I didn't know there was football in Germany until then. And he created this incredible documentary, and I just helped out a little bit with it. And now it's coming to life, and it's on Apple. You can pre-order it. It's called Unicorn Town. That was a fun experience, having to meet with some big-time people in the film industry from a new role, and just going through that. So that was a lot of fun. I'm excited about it, and hopefully everybody enjoys it.